And we're back with another episode of Cuts and Conversations. I don't know what episode we're on. Episode 9?
No, 10.
10.
10, damn.
I know. I still got one. I got you. Episode 10, we're here with ERVIN, and we're here with Mark, working at the barbershop. Knowing these guys for a few months now. It's been good working with them. So we just wanted to ask y'all, like, what got y'all, well, Mark first, what got you into barbering? Was there another career, like, before coming into the game, or is it something you always wanted to do?
Oh, well, I definitely had a bunch of careers before I started as a barber. Basically, barber came as a result of everything else going wrong.
Okay. So it was always like a plan B type thing.
It never was a plan B. I've had my family, my grandmother was a beautician, my aunt is a beautician, you know, like my grandfather built my grandmother a beauty parlor next to her house.
Okay.
Doing hair, my uncle was the neighborhood barber.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't get a license or nothing, but he's always cut hair. So I've always kind of
been around it,
but I never took it that seriously until like I kept getting like laid off or losing a good job or something like that. And it's like, I'm tired of jumping from job to job without no paperwork and having to go to the next job and start all over and, you know, doing a completely different career and something else like that. And I'm like, you know, I've always wanted to just do this seriously. So I just went to barber college. Like something had to change. I got married. My wife was pregnant. Like these little jobs and just wasn't getting it.
So it was after marriage whenever you decided to go to school.
Yeah, I got married and my wife got pregnant. And right when my daughter was born, I looked at her and was like, this job I got can't provide for her. It just can't. So I went to barber college.
I got you. And how was that whole change? Like obviously you weren't super busy off the bat, were you? Or did so many people already know you, like wouldn't they give you a shot?
Nah, I gained most of my clientele in barber college. At Texas Barber College on Richmond, all I did was I cut hair in school all day long.
I got you.
Now, they were paying them $3, you know, the barber college fee, but they were tipping, and that's how I built my clientele while I was in barber college. When I wasn't in the class doing theory, I was in the front just cutting every day, going to my friend's house, cutting their hair, making money where I can, and that's all I did. I even tricked my job into firing me so I didn't have to work.
Yeah, you'd be at school full time.
Yeah, I was at Dixie Pipe Farm on Alameda just working out in the yard, and I was in the work truck, and I just was tired of doing this. I said, you know what? There's a security camera right there. I'm finna go to sleep in this truck. I parked the truck and I went to sleep. I did that 2 days in a row, and they called me and it's like, Mark, don't seem like you want the job no more. I said, are you firing me? It's like, yeah, here's your last paycheck. You can stay the rest of the day or you can leave. I left, got on the phone. I filed for unemployment before I got home.
Damn.
Calculated risk.
What he's doing right now, he got laid off from PepsiCo. He's trying to get an employment, and he's going to go to barber school right now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What year was this when you went to barber school?
Man, I want to say, my daughter was born in 2000. It was 2009. 2009. Yep, I had my license right at the beginning of 2011. That's when I got my license.
Damn, I just graduated high school when you went to barber college.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't remind me, man.
I thought he was going to hit like Alex. Alex was like, in 1997, I started cutting hair. It's not that long ago. I started cutting hair like in a barbershop in 2010. So
Yeah. So like whenever you left school, do you feel like majority of the people followed you? Or it was kind of like most of them were going for the sake of this cheap cut type thing?
I want to say half followed me.
Yeah.
But the other half was, I was a barber until they had to pay more than $3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Once they got to pay regular price, they're like, oh, I got to go, man.
Yeah.
I got to go.
They going to find another good barber at the barber college.
Well, they asked me like, hey, who else can cut since you finna graduate? So
You already knew.
yeah, you hook them up. I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I had a good grind to me, man. I was out in the streets getting cuts. Like I literally, when I say that, I don't say that like I'm just playing. I mean, I was literally in the middle of the street at the light, passing my card out to people every time the light turned red, like I was a panhandler.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just right there at the shop you was working at, the shop you went to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Right there on the corner. The first shop I worked at was a Prestige, and it was right there on Willcrest and Cook Road.
Okay.
It's right next to a Subway over there. I literally was in the street. You can ask like my good friend Mark and a couple other guys that used to work with me up there. You can ask them. Literally, we was in the street. I'm passing flyers out and passing my card. I'm going to the Subway and pulling people out the subway and all those little businesses there. Like half the clients y'all see that come in now, those are clients from then.
Is this in next to that Monique's Beauty Supply place?
Across the street on the other side by the subway. You got Monique's, you got across the street where they got the dollar store and all that. Well, it's a Subway right on the other side of that on the corner. It's in that shopping strip.
That's where I used to buy my Clippers when I first started.
Yeah, they closed now. They're not there no more, Monique's.
How long do you think all this took for you to finally say, okay, I'm good, like I'm established, I'm doing, 25 plus 30 haircuts a week, I'm good?
Man, he does 20 heads on a Saturday.
It took me a year to build that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I lost a lot of it because this first shop that I was at, the owner was, he did me wrong.
Yeah.
He did me wrong. Made a bunch of promises he didn't keep, so I decided to leave. It was the best thing that ever happened to me, actually, because I went to A-Leaf Barbershop, and that's where I built who I am now at A-Leaf Barbershop. I ain't gonna lie. I worked at A-Leaf for 11 years. That place made me.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I always love
years.
A-Leaf. I'll always have respect for A-Leaf, man. Right there on Bissonnet and Dairy Ashford. I love that shop. Yeah. I love the people that work there. I never forget them guys. Never forget Reggie.
What got you there? What gravitated you towards that shop once you decided to leave?
This lady that I knew, I was cutting her son. She had a friend that was trying to find her son another place to go cut, and she brought him to me. And when I told her I was looking for another place, she said, well, you should go over there, because the reason we came to you is because they got to wait 2 hours for a cut over there. Like, that place is just so busy. And I'm like, it's busy. So I went over there and I talked to him, and he was like, yeah, when you want to start? So me, like a fool, I told him, look, I don't want to do this guy bad like he did me. Let me give me 2 weeks to give him 2 weeks notice, and I'll leave. And that's what I did. I waited 2 weeks, and let me tell you what this dude did to me.
Get your shit and get out of my shop.
I gave him 2 weeks notice, and this was on a Saturday. So the last day that I was supposed to work, this Saturday, that day's booth rent, everything is due that day, and this is the last day I'm working here. I got a whole day booked. This man came in early in the morning and told me, yeah, you can leave.
Oh,
Damn.
I said, you want me to leave? I said, I got clients booked. This is my last day. Yeah, you can leave right now. I said, okay. I said, okay. Okay. I packed up my stuff. What he didn't know is I had already been sneaking my stuff out every day. So all I had was the stuff on top of the station. I had nothing in there. Yeah. So I grabbed all my stuff and I left. And I didn't give him shit. No booth rent. And I went to the shop. I was like, Reg, I know told you I was gonna start Tuesday, but can I start today? He said, yeah, sit down. It was Valentine's Day weekend. I made more money that day at his shop than I had ever made in one day at that other shop.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I never turned back.
I got you. It's crazy how us barbers, like, we had to do that. Like you said, you were slowly moving your shit away. I feel like we have to do that for that scenario. You know what I mean? Because all owners ain't gonna take that so lightly. They're gonna be like, you got to leave right now.
But it's like, I didn't understand.
That's how my situation was.
I didn't understand it because I gave you 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
You know, like, I thought I was doing right by you. But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's because sometimes some owners, they'll feel some type of way, man. Like, it's happened to me plenty of times.
Take it personal, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they do. I mean, I personally, I don't know, whenever, don't give me no 2 week notice. Nah, I don't know. I think I've been a barber for long enough, like, worked in shops where they tell me, hey, grab your stuff and leave, like today. One time the other owner was like, yo, what you gonna do? I was like, man, I don't want to work for you. Just let me finish the week off. It was like Thursday or Friday. That day, he was like, hey, nah, just grab your stuff today and leave. That's how I ended up working at Dabber for a weekend. But as an owner, I think I want to respect everybody, unless, like, you really do something stupid to me.
Yeah.
I'll like,
Open up a shop across the parking lot.
oh, yeah, we have a problem. We'll probably have. I think that's disrespectful, But, like, with Hector, I told him, I was like, you could finish Saturday, dude. Like, just wait till Saturday. He's like, if you don't want to work here no more, you finish Saturday and then you bounce. And then that Friday, there was a walk-in. I went downstairs to the parking lot. I was like, hey, we have a walk-in. Do you want to make this money? He goes, nah, I'm going to come back later and pick up my stuff. So, all right. But I wasn't like, yo, you got to bounce today.
Yeah. You wasn't being petty or anything.
Nah, because I've been there. Because somebody has told me, hey, grab your stuff at least twice or 3 times in shots. Like, grab your stuff today and bounce. And I would never do that to nobody unless things get like, I don't know.
Too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They should never get to that point.
I shouldn't. Especially if somebody lets me, like Byron. I'm going to throw this out there. Byron's leaving, like, this week.
Oh, he made his choice.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's going to work Friday, Saturday, and this is his last weekend here. And when he told me, it was kind of like, dang, that's my boy. It kind of hurt a little bit, but then like what am I gonna do as an owner? I'm not gonna be petty and be like, nah, bro, go find somewhere else. You know, like I'm not like that's not. I don't know. That's not who I am, so I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Except for Irvin, I don't know.
And what got you away from A-Leaf Barbershop after being there for so long?
Well, I felt like I couldn't grow anymore there. Like, you know, it's an old school shop, set in its ways. It's been there 20-something years. That shop is like a cornerstone. Matter of fact, almost all the shops around A-Leaf, the barbers started there, and they leave off and do their own thing. I was there a decade. I was there 10 years, man. I'm like, that's giving myself enough time. They're doing what they do, but I didn't have room. Like, even when I say room, I mean like I didn't even have room to, like, you know, the machines and my steamer and all that stuff. I didn't have room to bring it in over there the way the stations are set up. Okay. You know, it's just the shop it just wasn't as up to date as I needed it to be with what I wanted to do. Yeah. And besides, I noticed that, like, after about 2 years, the last 2 years I was there, I realized I haven't taken a walk-in. So if I'm not taking any walk-ins,
like, I could do
these
this
are all
on my
my personal clients. Yeah. I realized I didn't need to be there. And this was after the pandemic. I had came back and we was working, and, you know, all the people, you know, during the pandemic, they was coming to my house. So I didn't lose anything. And I was like, you know, let me find a suite. Let me just let me just place a bet on myself to see what I can do. And that's what I did. And everything was going good until, well, you know how they did us at that Galleria salons. Yeah, you know, we was all paying our rent on time. Everything was going great. And then they give us a call on the 25th saying, yeah, we got to vacate y'all by the 5th. 10 days. Wow. We got to vacate us. They wasn't paying their rent.
Oh, man, ain't that something?
Well, funny is I started working on this place since November.
Yeah, he was already had this going. He had already made me an offer, but I was like, you know, I'm not going to leave my own space. Yeah, exactly. But then when they did that, he told me he wasn't going too far. And I was like, hey, you know what? He was a nice guy when I'm, you know, at the shop. So I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. Let me just see.
Yeah, I got you. Wow, bro.
That is dirty.
That's wild.
Yeah.
10 days?
10 days, bro.
And we're talking about a place that's been there for 20-something years. You have women that have only, I didn't know you have ladies that have been there 20 years, never ran their business out of nowhere else. You told crazy. These old ladies, these seasoned veteran cosmetologists and braiders and all that, you told these women you got 10 days to pick up your livelihood.
And you know the crazy part? They probably knew that months before.
Oh, they did.
They probably knew that
because they didn't
before.
want to tell us the truth. I called the people who owned the building and owned the Mahoney Group, whatever their name was. I called them, and basically what they told me was that this lady didn't pay rent for 2 years because of that pandemic protection, whatever it was. She didn't have to pay rent. So finally, when all that was over, you owe us our money. It's like 14 grand a month here. You owe us $300,000. You knew you wasn't going to pay it. Yeah. So they waited until the last minute to tell us because they knew they were having to leave. So they just waited and collected as much booth rent from us as possible every week, and then told us we had to go. Now, technically, they did what they supposed to do because we owe that because we're on the contract, but you should have gave us way more notice. We could have sued them, but we probably wouldn't have it wouldn't have been worth it because of the laws in Texas and everything like that. And so it was just done.
Wow.
And then remember, she tried to tell us, she said, just give me 60 days and I'm going to set up a new across the street. That place still ain't up running.
Wow, bro.
It's been almost a year, nothing.
Bro, so
that's dirty.
I was supposed to get the keys to this place February 1st. And then I was like, man, I'm going to be here from February to March, like a whole month just working on it, fixing it, you know, everything. And Mark saw the whole thing. Mark, he came in here, we were doing construction at least for another month. Like, it was crazy, bro. Like, this didn't look this way when we walked in here. And so we get out February 5th. We have light in this place till like February 6th or 7th. I call my commercial agent on January 25th when they called us that you guys got to vacate. Marcela was like, yo, you got to vacate. I was like, okay. So I called my agent. I was like, yo, can I get the keys today? Like, this just happened. Thank God the guy who used to rent this place was an accountant, a Mexican dude that really, you know, he was cool with me. He's like, hey, you're Mexican. You know, I like you, old dude. He goes, here's the key, man. And dude, that day with no light, it was during the freeze. I'm sitting here painting these walls, trying to get everything ready. I'm doing like the firefighter, what do they call the inspection?
Yeah, he pulled off a magic trick. I don't know how he did it, but the inspections and all the paperwork, it just like poof, those people came out and just, they did everything. I've never seen a shop come together.
So by the time y'all had to leave there, you already had something set up here to work.
and it was not supposed to be ready. He did that. I don't know how he talked these people into hurrying up and coming and getting them inspections and doing all them permits, but they did it, and we was able to get open.
So it was January 25th. So at that time, like, I try to get the lights on. I call TXU. I get it connected. 2 days later, the light's not on. I'm like, yo, what's going on? They're like, you got to pass a sitting inspection. So I call, like, I go to the city hall of Sugar Land. I fill out this paper. How long is it going to take? 7 to 15 days. I was like, I can't wait that long. So I need it done now. And I went to City Hall every day and pushed them. Then I have so you got to get an inspection to get the lights on. Then you got to get a marshal to come inspect it to get an occupation license. Right. So I have friends who work for the fire department. I'm calling them, so they putting me with the marshal. So I'm pushing the City Hall every day. I'm driving that every morning at 8 a.m. Yo, push it. And I'm here painting, because he needs a place to work. Diana needs a place to work. I need a place to work. Hector needed a place to work. And I'm just pushing. And I'm calling the marshal. I'm like, yo, they're like, as soon as you get your lights on, you call us. So this lady, like, I had a friend who was in the fire department. He plugged me in with this lady. So as soon as I get the lights on Monday or Tuesday, like I think Wednesday, fire inspection came in the morning. And we opened that Wednesday, bro. Wow. I was like, I gave them guys the green light. Let's go.
Yeah, the place wasn't even done. There's a wall right there.
So I had all my construction stuff in there for a whole month, like fixing stuff.
Yeah, I was here.
By the glass?
Yeah, I was here first in this tiny little corner,
yeah.
cutting it first. And then he finally opened up the wall, and I went over there because I called dibs on that corner.
Yeah, all that space over there.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man.
Wow.
That is crazy.
And what are your plans now, Mark? Do you have any other goals or any other plans you see yourself doing? Or
Yeah, barbering isn't the end. I've done it a long time. I mean, really my retirement plan is I'm going to build I already got permission from my HOA. I'm going to build a shop in my backyard.
Okay.
It's a one-man shop, kind of like the suite that we had at Galleria Salons.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that and probably do something else with construction. I'm going to school and getting stuff for that right now. You know, I got retirement plans. You know, I can't just stand on my feet forever. I'm 41 years old now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. That's understandable.
But that's way down the line when I can do all that. So
exactly. And you, Irvin?
How'd
you get into this? What different avenues did you try out before jumping into barbering?
So before I decided to be a barber, I was in construction. And I was in construction, but I was doing all kinds of jobs. Ever since I was 18, man, I was a forklift operator. Did like 6-7 years in the chemical plants. And I did that for a while, and it was cool, you know, it was good money. Yeah. Like being in the plants, you make good money, it's fast money. You have no life, you know what I mean? Like you're working 12, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. But the money was good. So I did it for a while, but I just knew like it wasn't my purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't me. And I was just getting by, and I was just picking up jobs just so I can pay these bills, or I can buy this, or I can just, you know, barely get by.
Yeah, but it's not something you wanted to do.
No,
right?
never. I didn't want to do it. Like, you know, no disrespect to my dad, but seeing him at 50, 55, waking up at 4 in the morning, him stretching and like moving, I was like, I don't want to be that guy. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like sure. that's not for me. So like I did what I had to do, but down the road, like once I turned 30, I was just like, I need to do something with my life. Like something needs to change. And that's when I decided to go to barber school. I took a huge financial cut, like a huge financial cut. Like I was, you know, months behind on bills, but I knew that I wanted to be a barber. I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm good at it. And yeah, so like I said, you know, first 12 years of my life from 18 to 30, I was just working jobs and just trying to get by. Really had no purpose in the world. And once I hit 30, I kind of just wanted to change everything, got into school, got my license last year in 21 of February. And yeah, here I am now. Love every minute of what I do, love everything about this job, about the shop, you know, coming in here, talking to you guys and being able to talk to clients and, you know, be a therapist to your clients and stuff like that when you need to be. So it's cool, man. Like I really love my job. I really do.
Full-time a year, right? Like,
so yeah, full-time professionally, February makes a year. But before, like when I picked up a clipper, I was 15. So I've been cutting hair for a while. But it was just like friends, you know, they'll hit me up every once in a while. Like, hey bro, you come cut my hair? I got you, just pull up. cut their hair, and it was just like that. You know?
That's how we all start.
You know, it was just like that. I really started on myself, started cutting on myself, and I used to mess my shit up, boy. I mean, like ball line and hair, just like horrible. But I stuck with it until I got good, and once I got good, I started practicing on my friends, and then once they started liking, I was like, okay, I got something going. Yeah. And then
so you quit your job before going to school, or you were still working when you was in school?
I did quit my job. I did quit. I did. And I went to school, and while I was in school, it's crazy. I was having, like, old friends of mine called me. Bro, they're hiring down here $28 an hour, like $26 an hour. And at the time, like, I'm like 2 months behind on rent. Like, I'm hurting. And I'm like, you know what? Like, nah, I'm good, bro. Like, I'm gonna stick this out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go this route. And I did. So it was hard, but it was definitely well worth it. I mean, there's, like I said, there's times where I go home now and it's like, I don't even feel like I'm work. Like, I don't even feel like I worked at all. Like, I was just chilling, making money, and it's like, damn, I get paid to do this. Like, this is dope. So yeah, it was the best decision I made, for sure.
See, now that money doesn't mean that much to you because, like, I got offered a job recently making $26 an hour, and I told him, I said, I can't take that job. I was like, why? I'd be taking a pay cut.
Yeah.
Like, after taxes, that's like $880 a week. I'm gonna have to explain that to my wife. Like, what am I got bills, but I can't do that.
Yep.
Exactly. It sounds so good. And I mean, it's kind of hard to be, because I mean, I guess we have to act like it's a lot, right? Because sometimes I hear my clients tell me like, yeah, bro, I got offered, you know, or I'm getting a raise, I'm making 26 now or 27. And I'm just like, damn, bro, that's fucking great. You know, that's good. That's really good. But I don't think they put into perspective what we bring home, you know what I mean? Off of something that's really not labor at all once you get the hang of it.
No, it's not.
You know what's messed up is you can't tell them. And not everybody, but do you know I've had clients when they see a lot of money in your pocket, I've seen them not want to come back because they don't like that. Like, I'm not finna go make this motherfucker rich.
Yeah.
Like, they really feel it. I swear to God, man.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because, like, they feel like they went to school and, you know, they got college degrees and they, you know, work a corporate job. I shouldn't be making as much or more than they make at their job because they feel like I'm less than them or something. It's weird. It's weird.
That's how it is, though. Because if you put it into perspective, the only reason we make more is because we have a trade, because we know how to cut hair, you know? Not because we dress up well or we, you know, we do this or we went to college or any of that. Not no bachelor's, 4 years or more, you know?
But then also, like, the barbers, like how, you know, we're established here. We make good money compared to these bachelor degrees, even to some of these master's degrees. But, man, you put years into your trade. You put years into your trade. I put years into my trade. I know you only been a year, but
yeah, I mean, I'm still working, but I'm gonna get there.
I know, like in another year, 2 years, bro, you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Bro, I started cutting when kids' haircuts was $10 and adults was $12.
Dead ass, bro. I remember that.
Like, you know how many heads you got to cut to make decent money at $12 a head.
Yeah.
Especially
at those times.
No, right?
That's when you're contemplating, like, damn, should I go take that $26? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you kind of realize, like, I'm killing myself here. You know, my shoulders hurting after the day.
But I think the barber game changed like 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, when like maybe 2015, after Instagram, like it just like prices started rising, bing, and people kind of respect us now. Like a lot of my clients, they know we make money, and they know that, but they still, like, some of them, I know what you mean. Like sometimes they're like, I don't know, like how much. I have a client tell me, like when I tell them, oh yeah, I'm doing this or I'm doing that, man, how much do I pay you, bro? And I'm like, you pay me what you need to pay me, bro. Don't worry about it, you know?
Right.
But some clients, they know that, and they respect you, and they want you to do well. At least some of my clients do.
I mean, I feel like that's how it should be. I mean, if somebody's getting money, you shouldn't be hating about it. Like,
why you counting their pockets for?
Yeah,
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you should be inspired.
Don't make
like,
you some more money.
Damn, I need to get my shit up or my stuff up or whatever. So yeah, it's the game has definitely changed though for the better as far as the barber industry.
I remember when I started cutting at Rosenberg, I didn't have a license, so the lady, she was like, you're gonna work with homegirl. You and homegirl are gonna do men. The cuts are 10, and y'all split at the end of the day. So you're only making $5 off of every man's cut. Oh, bro, I used to make enough money to get the gas to go back home. You know what I'm saying? I stayed like an hour and a half back home.
That's barber college money, right there.
$30. Come on, fill the tank up. We going back home.
So that's why I don't understand. These girls had great clips, sport clips. I was telling Manny, did I talk to you about this? Like tune-up, like, you know, they pay these girls. They go to Cosmo school. They spend tons of money. They got their Cosmo license, and they're over here making $13 an hour at a great clip sport.
I don't understand that either. From their perspective, like, how could you
But I feel like a lot of people get into the game without was seeing the money side of it, right? Until you have to realize, like, you have to be able at least to get along with, even if it's just a certain amount of people, you still have to be somewhat like easy to get along with, know how to hold a conversation. Like, you got to do little things, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of get into it for the money, and they're so nervous, or, you know, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. So sometimes that's the best route for them.
Right.
But when you go to these places, it's a hit or miss now, because that's not somebody that's passionate about their shit, you know? So they might mess you up. They might get you in and out. You never know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I also feel like some of them, if not most of them, probably fear the hustle, fear of trying to build a clientele, rather than going somewhere and don't really have to establish anything.
They're safe.
They're safe.
Yeah.
They got a safe check. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And a lot of them are older, so they probably have bills, families to take care of. So they're not in the position to build, you know, to start from the bottom. And, you know, because, I mean, when I first started, there was weeks where I went home with like $150, $200, like, you know, not making anything. But, you know, cut 5 people the whole week.
Exactly.
It sucked, you know, but I know it's you got to pay your dues, man, this thing. Once you pay your dues, like, it pays off.
That's how I started my mom's garage. I used to make like $150 a week in my mom's garage. So, I mean,
you got to start somewhere.
I remember when I was cutting on the weekends in Rosenberg, my mom would tell me, because they're like real old school Mexican, you know, it's like, hold your job, keep your job, save all your money, like, cuida el trabajo, you know. She'd be like, how much do you make in a day, you know? Like, you're really driving all the way over there. And I'd be like, man, I made $200 last Saturday, you know, feeling all bad and shit. And she didn't believe it. Obviously, she didn't believe it. My dad laughed because he was already making, you know, more than a rack a week. So.
Yeah, when I went, like, into a barbershop and I decided this is what I want to do, I think it was, like, 2010, 2011, I was working in a barbershop. And this is my first time I take my dad and my mom out to eat. And they're like, hey, mijo, like, why don't you get a real job?
Yeah, I've heard that.
And I was like, what do you mean a real job? And I remember at this time, it was Sunday, so I had just Friday, Saturday, so I pulled out a stack of money. What do you mean? This is a real job. Like, you know? So I paid for dinner that day, and still, like, they didn't believe in me for a while, bro. I think even, like, 2015, bro, we were talking about 5 years later, my dad's still like, hey, why don't you try something else, bro? You know? And little did they know what I was doing. Like, I'm a frugal person. I save my money, you know? And now that I have this shop, now my dad's like, I'm so proud of you, son. Oh, I bought a house. I'm so proud of my mom's like, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, yeah, y'all proud of me now? Like, like y'all weren't proud of me when I was, you know, cutting for $12, $15 and a haircut in a barbershop in 2010. Like, y'all told me to get a real job. And now, I'm sorry, mama, but she wanted me to finish college. She wanted me to be like a lawyer or something. And I was like, dude, I make more than a master's degree sometimes. Like, real talk. Like, if we talking money, like, we could hit 6 figures easily. Like, if we wanted to.
Yeah. I feel like now barbers are getting, I guess we're working towards that level of respect, you know, that you can make a career out of it, that it is an actual job.
Now, like, Mark, I'll put you on the spot. Do you remember how barbering used to be 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, you come in, like, a lot of barbers weren't serious about their craft. They were just kind of come in, do what they.
That's still the same. It's still exactly the same. I don't really feel that in that aspect is any different. There's a lot of people that just cut hair, and then you got some barbers.
I agree with that.
Like, when I went to barber college, most of those guys were in there just to be doing something. They wasn't serious. They wasn't no real. Most of them ain't even cutting hair right now. I went to barber college with so many guys who finished school and never got their license. Never even signed up to get the license. You know, like, why were you there?
Yeah.
And you go in some shops right now, them guys ain't there to actually be a seasoned barber. They're not taking this as a long-term career. They're just in there to do something right now. They're not really good at their craft. They don't care to learn. They just sit in the chair all day and pray money comes and walks up to them. Yeah. You know, and if they don't make no money, they're fine with that because, you know, they got other hustles and all kind of stuff going on. So this is not something they want to do. But me personally, I don't sell nothing but haircuts.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to eat. This is all I do. So I didn't have no plan B when I went to barber college. I'm like, this has to work. I have nothing else going. All right, I didn't finish college. I don't have no paperwork out of all these jobs I held. This has to work. I'm married. Luckily, my wife was able to deal with my trifling behind, not making a whole lot of money. She was the one educated, had a real career. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, she was paying like she never had to pay for nothing for me, but she had to pay too much of the bills in the house. And I ain't like it. I ain't feel like a man being with her at the time, to be honest with you.
For sure.
Let's not get into this conversation.
I really had to get out and do something. And once I started making money and contributing, and I saw that, like, okay, now it's creeping up. I'm doing my part now, and I'm paying the bills like I'm supposed to and taking care of my family. It's like, okay, I'm not doing nothing else. I'm diving head first into this, and this is all I'm finna do. And that was it for me. And
I feel like that's why you're so successful at it, because you're not trying to juggle all these things at once. You know what I'm saying? You put all your eggs in one basket, and you just taking care of that. You know what I'm saying?
Edgar, you're doing too much. I told him from the get-go, you're doing too much, and you got to focus on one thing. At least I did, you know, in 2011. Because I've had a lot of other jobs too. You know, I was working a bail bonds company for a lawyer in 2010, 2011, and working in the morning at a lawyer's office. In the afternoon, I was working at a shop. But you got to make a decision to be successful. I think this is, honestly, I'm happy I made the decision too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was swim or drown, because I couldn't go back to working no $8, $10 an hour, $11 an hour and stuff. Like, what is that doing for, like, my family now? It's one thing to us have like a little 1-bedroom apartment, and I'm just, you know, I didn't have any kids to raise or nothing like that. You know, it was just me. Like, as long as I could take care of me, I don't think she'll be tripping about what I got going on. I take her out dates here and there, saving up my money, but that just, I felt sorry, man. I'm so lucky that woman married me. I don't know why she did. I wouldn't have married me at the time.
That's love, boy. That's love.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't have married me.
So how many years did it take you to get your crap together?
It took one. It took one because I needed it. I didn't have a choice.
Better than me. It took me 5 years to get my crap together. Like, cause for my first 5 years of marriage, I was still like kind of like a barber. I was doing stupid stuff, like spending my money at the club, like going out getting bottles, you know, going out with.
Oh, I didn't have any extra money to spend at the club. I didn't have that. there was no doing none of that, sir. But at the same time, I really wasn't interested in the club because, you know, I've been going to clubs and partying since I was like 15, 16 years old. It got kind of old to me.
So you've been there, done that.
When I got into my 20s and stuff, it's kind of old to me. Like, even right now, if I go to the club right now, it's the same people sitting up in there against the same wall in the same spot. Like, I don't.
Little section.
Yeah, like, I'm not missing nothing. I did all that, and like, I got friends that, you know, my age that still go out and hang out after hours, and they go out and all that. I'm like, you know, but you know why? It's because you didn't do nothing when we was young. You just now becoming that person. Like, you just now getting on your shit.
Experience and all
now
that
you
shit.
can get out and you trying to party and you trying to be something you never was. Like, you know, you were lame then, you're lame now. But go have fun with your money, dude. You know.
Yeah. Straight up, bro. Straight up. Because it's like, man, dude, it's such an addicting lifestyle too. Because I feel like probably the first year of myself, I was doing the same shit, bro. Like, if I'd make $400 that day, shit, I was at the club that night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
Same way. Spend my money. Definitely, man. Definitely.
Nah, I think, like, once you become disciplined, I think when you become a man, you know, he was talking about like providing for his family. Like, at least for me too. Like, it took me a couple of years to get, because Jamie was like 2 years old when I finally was like, yo, I think I got to get my crap together. It took me a while to like snap out of it.
I mean, that didn't happen to me until I was 30. When I decided to go to schools, when I decided I needed to get my life together. And I knew something needed to change. Cause
we're all at different, and that's the cool thing. We're all at different points in life, you know. Mark is a little bit more seasoned than most of us.
Yo, y'all don't have to keep reminding me. I know. Cause it's crazy, man. Cause looking at the clients now, like that guy that came in earlier, that walked in today.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've been cutting him since his dad was dropping him off. He's a college graduate now. Like, I feel so old now looking at these guys. These kids are, they got kids too now. I'm like, this is weird. I don't like it.
Manny don't know that. Yeah, Manny, you've been what, 3 years, like cutting full time, 3-4 years.
Yeah, like 4 years, bro. Licensed full time. Yeah.
For like 12 years. So I've seen my clients 12 years old to. I have a client who I started cutting him when he was 12. So high school, college, now he graduated. He just got married. He just bought his first house. And I'm like, dang, I've been cutting him since I saw him grow up.
I'm only in like the junior high to like high school graduate. You know, still no families, none of that. It's just like.
And I think it's funny. Do you have clients that are more your age? Like I do. Like my clients are more my age. You kind of, whatever you are, you kind of attract. Like,
I got a bunch of clients my age, but, you know, it's kind of weird because you start off with the dads, right? And then some of the dads, well, you know, they end up like me and they go bald. And now I'm not cutting them, but I'm cutting their sons.
Yeah.
You know, like the cycle just
it keeps going.
Keeps on going.
Keeps going. It's crazy because I feel like every time one of Julian's clients come in, I already know it's Julian's client. Just because of how they're dressed or like if they have like a gym shirt on or something. I'm like, oh, that's for Julian. I still ask, but I feel like I already know too.
Hey, you could tell Felly's clients apart.
I could tell Felly's clients.
I could tell Felly's too.
I could tell Mark's clients.
It was easy to pick out my clients in the shop. All the black folk. Anybody black come through the door, most likely to come to my spot. They come to me.
Sometimes we leave them sitting there for like 20 minutes. We're like, yo, what's up? Oh, I'm a walking. We're like, oh, dang, Mark. It wasn't you, Mark. I was like, dang. And then all the darker, browner people go to Byron. I think so. What about Diana? Like the older Hispanic guys?
She has a fluctuation of people.
It's a good mix, yeah.
Some that kind of look a little fruity, but they ain't came out the closet yet type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
she told me there was a story about this one guy comes in scrubs all the time. He has a mustache, right? And he was like, oh my God, Diana, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was extra fruity, bro. And he's like, he's so cool. Like, he's my favorite client. He comes in, he talks to me. And I'm like, and she's 100% sure. She's telling me, like, in the break room, she's like, he's fruity. I'm like, yeah, he looks fruity. He walks fruity, you know? And then all of a sudden, like, a month later, she goes, he told me he has a girlfriend. And she's, like, in shock. But they haven't came out the closet.
Yeah, he's hiding that shit.
Yeah, he's hiding that shit, bro. Yeah. You can see that shit.
I stay away from that. Hey, I'm not here to gay bash nobody. That's not my business. That's their conversation.
I'm just saying.
Because I really don't even care. I mean, like, the way I look at it is your money gay? Can I not spend it or something?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care.
Yeah,
as far as Diane's concerned, man, Diane's a dope barber. I'm not going to lie. I really like her haircuts, especially with kids. She needs to take more pictures of her cuts.
She's fire.
Yeah. I've actually watched her and learned a couple of things, like looking at her cut. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. Like one of my clients, Calix, his haircut got better because I saw her do something with her shears. And I was like, huh. So I just tried it and it worked. And then the next time he came in, he said, everybody really liked my haircut, man, the way I get it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, all right.
I feel like everybody here is fire though. I'm not even trying to be biased. Like I just feel everybody here cuts really good.
I have my clients tell me that all the time. They're like, man, dude, I feel like you came to a shop where everybody could pretty much like hold their own, right? Like I can go sit in their chair and they'll give me a good cut too, you know? So
that's definitely one thing that I want to talk to like tomorrow in the meeting. Like we are as strong as our weakest link, and that's why sometimes we have to work as a team. Like him, I didn't know that you had looked at Diana the way she cut. You're talking about how she went like this with the fade. The way he did it is like you fade that in. But I think we should learn from each other, man. Yeah. Like
I'm not gonna lie, I be watching all y'all cut hair.
Everybody has different techniques, you know.
Yeah, I watch all y'all.
I wasn't even trying to watch her. I was literally walking by, like going to the cabinet over there, and I just so happened to look and saw something that she was doing, and it was blending really nice like that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that next time he comes in. Yeah. I'm gonna try that, and it worked.
All right.
Has there ever been those times where like y'all try a new technique and then you're just taking like longer on the cut and you're like, damn, I shouldn't have tried this fucking technique. I should have just stuck to my own.
I have.
You're better than this.
Yeah, I have. And I get lost in the transition, like fading from the like 4, 3, 2, 1, you know. Yeah. I've done that, and sometimes it works for me, but not all the time. So the one that I did try like one time is going from 4, 3, 2, 2.5, and then go meet in the middle. And you get that compressed, that how Felly be leaving it, that compressed fade. It's hard for me to get it done, but that's how I do it. But I tried it one time and I got lost in transition. I was like, where's my 1.5? Where'd I put it? You know, when I was teaching Julio, I was like, you got to keep, you know, it's your half, your 1, 1.5, your 2. Like, you got to know where it's at. Yeah. And that day I got lost and I was like, dang. So I had to start over from the bottom.
Start the ball line again.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where that barber's eye comes in play, though, right? Because once you get lost, you already know where the dark spots are at. You know what a 1's going to do here and a 2's going to do there, you know? So you just start playing with it.
And I think a lot of these new barbers, they just want to do like half the 1, the 1.5. They see these barber videos like Julio. He's like, man, I've been watching faded culture, bro. Like, I know what I do. I know how to do it. And I put him behind the chair. And Felly, he was fading Felly. He was like, I got lost.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as it looks.
It's not, and that's
We just make it look easy. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we get paid. What we get paid for.
We just make it look easy.
I feel like those videos, they give you the basic rundown on how to do a fade, you know, like to make it look just okay, good. But I think what separates a really high quality fade from a regular fade is your level of detailing. Like how deep you go into your detail after you finish doing your process. Once you do your steps, then you have to detail. At least that's what I do. Once I cut hair, you know, I'll come in and detail last 10, 15 minutes.
Like I go in with my half guard. My half guard, I play with it all the time. You know, I just my lever is not always open, not always closed. It's somewhere in the middle, and I'm using corners and all that. At least that detailing right there. I mean, that's what sets us apart, man. That's what's gonna set, you know, a $15 haircut to what we charge.
It's so crazy how we see it like that, but the client probably can't even tell the difference. You know, if we took like an extra 5, 10 minutes on it, or we let it go. Or we let it go, you know?
No, they can tell.
They can tell when they go to somebody else. They come back.
They can tell.
Yeah, when they try to go to a different barber, they're like, oh, yeah, bro. Big difference.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of clients, like, when they sit in my chair, like, you work at somebody's shop and, like, that guy's not there, then they sit in your chair. And they've actually told me, like, man, you know what? All this time, I thought I was getting a really good haircut. But I see he really wasn't cutting my hair right. Now they're looking in the mirror like it's never looked like this before. Yeah, and then they never go back to that guy.
I agree.
I have a client that's been with me since like 2016, so maybe about 6 years. And he moved to Cyprus, like far, far north. Like we're talking an hour drive to this shop. And I stay booked, and it's hard for him to come down here. So he was trying to make that for the past 6 months, and finally he was like, dude, man, I'm sorry, man. An hour drive, I came in. I was like, that's cool, dude. I recommend you. I recommended him a couple of people. He ended up going to this lady barber. She's actually pretty good. And he paid her more money than he usually pays me. Because Cypress, Katie, they charge more, you know? And he hits me up. He's like, dude, man, like after a month or two of trying her out, he comes to me. He's like, man, nobody cuts my hair like you do. He's tried different barbers in Katie, but I think it's just about.
I think everybody has their own way of doing it, though. That's the thing, right? It doesn't necessarily like come down to how much detail you put into it or how much. It's just how you do it, right? Sometimes some people love leaving the C cups. Some like my mid taper is different from your mid taper, different from your mid taper, and different from your mid taper. You know.
It's also you though, because like. You yourself as that client, once you build a relationship with that person, if you're not just somebody just cutting the hair, hey man, how you doing? You cut the hair and they leave, you know, that's not really personable.
Right.
So that person don't really know you, just a barber. But when you actually talking to this person and you get to know them in their personal life and you remember things, your client becomes family and your family's loyal to you. So they're not going to go nowhere else. They might have an emergency and might go in here and get something done, but they're not going to like the cut and they're going to end up coming back anyway. You know, but nah, it's really more on you. Like your cut, I know a lot of mediocre barbers that make lots and lots of money because of who they are and how they treat their clients. Period.
For real.
That's true though. I've heard that, you know, even barbers that aren't even that good, that they're booked just because of who they are, their personality and stuff like that. Like,
it's like little things. Like if I have a conversation with Jimmy and I'm cutting his hair and he tells me, you know, yeah, I'm cutting my hair. I'm finna go to a wedding this weekend. And then 2 weeks later when he comes in, I'm going to say, how was the wedding? You know.
And be like, oh, you remember that?
Yeah.
You know
like, how was the wedding? Or didn't your kid just have a birthday? You know, little stuff like that. That right there makes it more personal. And it seems like you're not just taking their money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they think like, damn, this guy went home and he thought about that.
Like he remembered that?
He thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like right now I have Oreos in my thing for the kids. I got those Oreos because like the Hispanic client, the one Hispanic client that I got, I've been cutting him for 10, 11 years, man. All right. His daughter doesn't really like snacks and the stuff that I used to have, but she likes Oreos. There will never not be Oreos in that jar no more for that baby, period, because he's one of my best clients. And anytime he comes in, even when he don't bring it, I hand him Oreos like, here, take this home to your daughter.
Yeah.
You know, that's my boy though.
Yeah.
Like little stuff like that, man.
Yeah. And that's real. That's real because I feel like that's very important in the barber industry is to create relationships, you know? I feel like a lot of barbers don't, especially like the new era of these barbers, they don't They don't want to build relationships, you know. They want to come in and make some bread and go home.
They're too cool.
Yeah.
They want to live that lifestyle they see on Instagram. That's
Exactly.
I'm too cool. Like, they just come in, flex. I charge $40, $50 a cut. I'm cool on the gram, and they don't care about the client. Like, at least I do. Like, I mean, honestly.
And I love that because I love keeping a relationship with my clients too. I love knowing about their life, them knowing about my life. You know what I mean?
Like, if y'all see my chair full all the time, like 80% of my clients, 90% of them, I know what they do for a living, their wife's name. Yeah, and they know mine too. Like, some of them, they know my personal life. I get invited to weddings. Like, I've said it all the time before. So, I mean, that's what it is. And I try to, like, kind of teach everyone here. But I have one barber here. I'm not going to say his name. Like, I'm like, hey, dude, you cut that guy before. Like, I see on the schedule, hey, you got so-and-so, let's call him Jose, whatever. You have him on the schedule today. You remember him? He's like, no, I don't remember. How do I know his name and you don't?
And you cut him.
And you cut him twice. But it's just barbers that they just here for the money. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, bro. Like, I remember, like, if you see Byron's clients get off of the chair, these clients, you guys don't see me from that side, but Diana, I'm like, hey, later, Homer. Hey, later, Mr. Walter. Like, I know their names because I've seen the schedule and I know who's getting a haircut. And I love remembering names. Like, I'll yell across the street, hey, later, Mr. whatever, Resendez, Homer. Like, I remember their names and like, they like that, you know? And it's like, how do you cut this client for 5 months and you don't know his name? Literally, I'm like, dude, you don't know his name. How? You know? How does he get you don't remember how he gets a cut? To you, it's just another haircut. To you, it's just...
Tell me what to do and I'll do it type thing. You know what I mean?
This is just money for you. For me, it's like, I remember every client's, like, name. Even their last name. And they're like, dude, how do you remember my last name? I'm just... You heard me yell across the street, like across the hall, like with their last name, or no?
Yeah, like Jimmy's on a first name basis with a few of my clients. Like Mike. Yeah, like Mike, he's a real good guy. Like, he's a master chief, senior chief at A-Leaf Taylor, you know, the RTC program and all that. So, like, he's a really good guy, and he knows Jimmy. Like, you know, he always asks about him.
He comes every week or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know you're talking.
Like, once I get to know you and I know your name, like, I remember something. You cut one of the engineers from Missouri City. I don't know his name, but I can recognize him. Then you cut another swole guy that does steel. He has a steel company.
Yeah.
See, like, I know those things. But if I have an interaction with you, I'm going to try to remember a few things about you.
Yeah, that's my boy Rod.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, the other guy, he's an engineer from Missouri City. I remember him. Of course, the cop. And I remember.
I feel like you have a lot of weekly clients, actually, now that we're talking about all these clients that I know.
Yeah, and most of the guys that he just mentioned, all those guys I had like been cutting for years, like, and that's why they come weekly, because that's their schedule. Like, some of the guys, they don't care about the holidays, they don't care what day it is. They get their haircut on this day every other week, or this day every week. So this is when they're getting their haircut. Yeah. They don't care if there's a wedding, or they're not getting their haircut ahead of schedule for nothing.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this day.
It's like they're on a schedule, like they got the schedule.
They get out the chair and they book the appointment. Like, most of them guys don't even go online and book, because I'm going to book it for them, because I know they're coming next week. Like, period.
Can y'all tell when my clients show up? Can you tell when is my client or no?
I used to, but you done gave a lot of your clients away. They be sitting in other people's chairs. He's so generous.
Too generous.
I am too nice. Tomorrow's meeting, stop being nice. I don't know. It's just my personality. I love helping people. I love it. And I've always had that mentality. I know not everybody has the same mentality, but I keep telling everybody, like, for me, I'm always going to get new clients. I'm always going to get new clients, no matter what. I don't know what it is. I really don't know. People come to my chair. I heard from you from so-and-so. I booked you online, found you on Instagram. I don't know. So-and-so told me about you. And you'll see me book every week, you know. Like, I'll have new clients all the time. I'll have clients for 6 months. They'll leave. They'll come back. I have clients that I haven't seen in 5 years. Like, my chair is always rotating, and I'm always booked, and I'm always sending people everywhere. Like, I have clients who will come visit me that they live in the Woodlands. They know they're going to be in Houston, you know, this day. They'll book with me. I don't know what it is. I see it like, you know, I'm a believer, so you guys know that. I have faith. Like, I just know I'm going to have these people, and I feel like that by my actions, by what I do, like, hey, let me help you, let me throw you a client. I feel like those actions is what keeps me going. You know what I mean? Like, it's people call it the universe. You know, it's like what you do, it's going to come back to you. Some people call it karma. So, hey, if you want to call it karma, that's cool. I believe you reap what you sow. So I like.
And that's crazy that you're still booked and you've given away a lot of clients to 2, 3, however many barbers, and you're still booked. Like that speaks volumes.
That's just my faith. That's just how I do things, and it's worked for me. You know, it's worked for me all my life. Like, I gave Felly a client that pays him $100. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I'll have other clients that'll pay me $100. So for me, that's just how I roll, and I want to help people, even though sometimes it hurts when they're ungrateful.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't mind doing that shit either, but like, I can't give somebody a high-paying client, and I know you're gonna fumble that client, and then they're just not gonna show up anymore. You know what I mean?
Man, I can't even do that no more. I can't give away a client because they just refuse to let somebody else cut their hair. Like,
yeah,
I couldn't even be like, hey man, can Jimmy cut you today? They'll look at me like, no.
Reschedule me then.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
No, the fuck, no.
Yeah.
That's just the loyalty.
Dude, I used to hate
client.
at the salon I first worked at. This woman would take so much appointments, and she would already have her book full. And I'd hear her on the phone talking about, yeah, 4 p.m. They'd walk in, and she'd be like, oh, she's gonna take care of you today, or she's gonna take care of you today. And I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, obviously they're never gonna come back.
I let them know before they show up. Hey, like, dude, I'm booked, but Irvin can take care of you today. Hey, I'm booked, but Byron can take care of you. And if you want to, what I hate is I know that some of my clients, like, I used to have that hatred back in 2010, 2012. Like, that's my client. If you go somewhere else, like, man, you can't come back. I used to have that. Not anymore. Like, my clients, if they're like, dude, hey, I have a wedding. It's an emergency. I'm gonna go somewhere else. Cool. You know, but I'd rather them come here. I'd rather them get a cut with D or Byron or Irvin or whoever is here, rather them go to another shop. Because I know they're going to go get another haircut. Because I am booked. You know what I mean? So I'd rather them stay here. I think it keeps the flow of the shop. And as a shop owner, the busier you guys are, the more I can charge booth rent, right? So it kind of benefits me in the long run. I'm just being honest. Yeah. You know, I put in my work. I feel like I will reap this maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now. You know, that's my end goal, like, for the shop to be busy and for me to be chilling later down the road. So I put that's my retirement plan. All right, guys. So anything else you guys want to say to the public? Irvin?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
So today our special was, you know, we had 2 guys with not a lot of hair telling you what it is to be a barber.
You gotta get one in, right?
I had to. I was gonna say, I was like, what is my?
I got evidence. I used to have hair, and it used to be luxurious.
Yeah.
You have to find that picture that when you showed me a long time ago. Mark looks like, when you were like 20, you look like you're about to drop the hottest bachata album
I will never
ever.
show you that picture again.
Bro, he looks like Anthony Santos, bro.
I think I've seen it before. You put on your story?
No,
He
you
has,
can't
like,
find it anywhere. You'll never find it.
He has like a little afro, and he got the little mustache. Bro, if you look up Anthony Santos, that's Mark.
It's probably on my Facebook somewhere.
Yeah.
I was a kid, man. Like, I was like 14 in that picture, man.
I thought he was gonna be like, bachateame, mama. He's about to drop the hottest bachata album.
That was back when back when I really used to get it all the time from people that just had no clue of what I was.
Yeah.
Speak
They
to me in
didn't know.
Spanish.
Like, you could tell. I hated it too, because everywhere I go, you see people looking at me trying to figure out, like, what is he? Like, is he like one of those The Rock type people?
The Rock type.
Yeah, like, what is he? Is he black? Is he Dominican? I'm like, I'm black. I'm nothing else. Like, that's it.
All right, we gotta find that picture.
Hair used to get me in so much trouble. You think I'm not playing, man? God, that was such a problem.
You got to show it to us, bro. We're gonna make you a bachata album. Mark Howard, El Mayimbe.
We'll keep it in the shop.
We'll keep it in the shop. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks for keeping up with us. Subscribe to our channel. Like us.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram, Fresh Cut Manny.
Gotti Blands _
Mark the Barber 3_.
JCuts _elite. So, see you guys on the
We'll see you on the next one.